Good eve- Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can I ask you to please rise while His Excellency Dr. Thabo Mbeki, former President of the Republic of South Africa and Chancellor of the University of South Africa, enters the hall. You may be seated. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my distinct pleasure and truly an honor to welcome all of you to the final round of the 6th Unisa International Strings Competition. The last 2 weeks has been probably the most challenging, the most difficult weeks for what started out almost a year ago with an application to this competition has finally come to this evening, where our candidates will perform for the grand prizes and the prestige of being recognized as laureates of Unisa's international music competitions. There will be plenty of time later this evening for us to update you on what had happened throughout the competition, the ups, the downs, and I'm most certain there will be sufficient time for us to congratulate the winners and recognize them for their efforts. For right now, I would like to turn over the competition to this wonderful orchestra, the Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra, that will be led by Maestro Mariusz Smolich from Poland. I ask you to all please rise as we start this evening's proceedings with a performance of the South African National Anthem. Following the anthem, we will have 2 candidates perform. There will be a 15-minute break, and then we will have the 3rd candidate perform. Please rise. Please welcome Maestro Mariusz Smolich and the Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra. Thank you. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Please, one more time, a round of applause for our first two candidates, Yongkwang Lee on cello and Clara Saikulov. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you please be seated while His Excellency Dr. Thabo Mbeki leaves the room. He will be followed by our classical and jazz jury members. Thereafter, all of you may leave the hall. We will have a 15-minute interval and we will resume in about 15 to 20 minutes. Thank you. Please be seated. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may leave the room. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you to please rise while His Excellency, Dr. Thabo Mbeki, enters the hall. Thank you so much. You may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the formalities for the second half of the program. We will have our third and final candidate, Mr. Brian Cheng, who comes to us from Canada, who will perform with the Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra. As soon as the third candidate has completed his performance, I will ask all of you to please remain seated. We will take 10 minutes while the classical jury heads out to vote. During that 10 minutes, we will screen 1 or 2 videos. That's probably our history of the music competitions at Unisa, and a short behind-the-scenes video to keep you entertained for about 10 minutes. Immediately following the videos, we will commence with the award ceremony. Please join me in welcoming Maestro Marius Smolich, conducting the Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra, and our third and final candidate, Brian Cheng. Thank you. I'm going to ask our jury to adjourn to the Senate Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings to a close our three candidates. Can we hear it one more time for all three candidates? Our wonderful orchestra, Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra, and our conductor, Maestro Marius Smolich. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be about 10 minutes. We have a few videos that will be screened. One's a history of our music competitions over the past 40 years, and the other is a behind-the-scenes video of the candidates and what they've been through in the past 2 weeks. Please bear with us for 10 minutes while the orchestra adjourns and my tech team sets up the stage for the awards function. Please remain in the hall. Thank you. to welcome all of you this evening. And while my team is busy putting together the final preparations, I'd like to just give you a quick history of our competitions, which started 40 years ago. As many of you know, our competitions have evolved. They've continued to grow in prestige, in the type of genres that we offer. And at every point, we've tried to take new initiatives, new steps forward in order to continuously reinvent ourselves, in order to continuously develop our competitions. 2 days ago, we initiated the first regional meeting of the World Federation of International Music Competitions. The goal was to put the best minds together internationally and nationally in order to come up with a plan of introducing our very first African music competition, which we expect to host in 2023. This competition, unlike any of the other previous competitions, had tremendous challenges. Starting out with the pandemic, which significantly impacted travel for our jury members, to the point that we've had some jury members who simply could not get on flights to make it out here. So I'm sincerely grateful to our jury members who decided to stick with us. A lot of them were uncertain, were doubtful whether this indeed would take place and whether they would be able to travel. But here we are at the final round. We had a very large number of applications, as we usually do, from around the world. Over 30 countries sent applications, candidates through, and ultimately only 30 candidates were invited. Of the 30 candidates, we were very sad to hear that a few candidates were unable to travel to South Africa due to either travel restrictions or visa problems. In any event, we are very proud to have hosted the candidates that did make it through. And I can assure you, having sat in this hall for 2 weeks, these candidates played their hearts out. It was at a standard that we had never expected. It came with challenges, logistically, performance-wise, but here we are, at the final night of the competition, about to crown our winners. For the first time in our history, we have partnered with the World Federation of International Music Competitions and Idagio to stream this event live internationally. We will probably reach the largest audience we have ever reached in our history. I'm sincerely grateful to Florian Rim, Peter Paul Keinrath from the World Federation for supporting us in streaming this competition live, to all of our partners around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, our stage is ready, and at this point, I would like to start inviting up the guests that will be part of the awards ceremony. We are very fortunate to have His Excellency Dr. Thabo Mbeki as the president of this competition and the Chancellor of Unisa. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming on stage Dr. Thabo Mbeki. We're very fortunate that our competition, the Music Foundation, the directed music receives unprecedented support from the highest levels of Unisa's management. Professor Poleng Lenkabula, the Principal and Vice Chancellor of the University of South Africa, proved to us in one simple gesture 6 months ago, she has unwavering support. 6 months ago, we hosted our national competition. We had an empty hall with the exception of 10 jury members. Prof. Lenkabula showed her support by being the 11th person in a 1,000-seater auditorium. Prof. Lenkabula, please join us on stage. Please join me in welcoming Professor Poleng Lenkabula. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a stellar cast of jury members representing the highest levels of performance, teaching, and adjudication in the world. I am very pleased to call them up and ask them to please join us on stage. From the United States, Bobby Ferrazza. One of South Africa's very own, from the University of Pretoria, Mageshan Naidu. From the United States on our jazz jury, David Gilmore. Our fourth jazz jury member needs no introduction to South African audiences, Victor Masondo. Coming to us from the Netherlands, by way of Cape Town, Hein van der Geen. We have a stellar cast of classical jury members coming to us from Vienna, Gernot Winnishofer. From South Korea, by virtue of Germany, Hannah Suyong Eichberg. South Africa's very own member of the Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra who just performed, today serving her duties as a jury member, Susan Mutan. From Russia, currently based in Italy, Senya Milas. And our final jury member coming to us from Venezuela, Eddie Marcano. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to call upon the finalists who performed yesterday and today, starting with our jazz finalists, Antonio Molina Moya. Our second jazz finalist from South Africa, Benjamin Jafta. Our third jazz finalist, who performed yesterday from the United Kingdom, Mark Lewandowski. Our classical finalists who performed this afternoon, Yongkwang Lee. From South Korea. Coming to us from France, Klara Saitkulov. From Canada, Brian Cheng. I would also like to call upon our special prize winners, who will be informed later of what prizes they won, but I'd like to have from South Korea, Jisoo Kim, join us on stage. From Canada, Luca Kutsir. And from Switzerland, Sylvain Jory. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I would like to welcome to the podium, to officially welcome you, our Principal and Vice Chancellor, Professor Puleng Lenkabula. Give us 1 minute. Prince, can I have you on stage? We need the riser for Prof. Tsepiso. We need the riser for Prof. Lenkabola.
Good evening. It Good evening. Good evening, colleagues. We won't speak if we don't greet. Good evening. Thank you. Program Director, Professor Deborah, the Program Director for this evening, His Excellency Dr. Thabo Mbeki, the former President and the Chancellor of the University of South Africa, as well as the President of the International Music Competition tonight, members of Unisa Council present here tonight, members of Unisa Executive, Extended, and all management present, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, High Commissioners, and other diplomatic corps present here tonight, Mr. Peter Kindrath, President of the World Federation of the International Music Competition, and other members of the Federation present here tonight, Mr. Bongani Tembe, CEO, Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra, and members of the Philharmonic Orchestra attending here tonight, members of the jury and our competition participants, host parents who are looking after our participants, representatives from various media houses present, universities, and other science councils represented, friends of the University of South Africa, alumni, but also students, members of the organizing committee, esteemed members of the audience, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I wish to welcome you and our guests who are watching this fantastic event virtually, including members of the diplomatic corps representing various countries in South Africa, members of the Board of Trustees of Unisa, members of educational institutions, other members of the university community, and all other guests joining us virtually tonight. It is my greatest pleasure to welcome you all to the closing ceremony of the 6th International String Competition and Regional Meetings of the World Federation of International Competition. Next year, in 2023, Unisa will be celebrating 150 years of proffering higher education in South Africa, Africa, and the global arena. And this week and the past week, colleagues, as Unisa, we've celebrated 40 years of hosting music competitions. Tonight marks the culmination of almost 18 months of work that was initiated by the organizing committee on the present edition of the competition. It is also marks the end of an intense and fiercely contested competition that began 2 weeks ago when our international candidates touched down on the African soil and together with our national candidates made public their intentions to walk away with the grand prize by virtue of their performances. May we just give them a large round of applause. At some point, it was visibly evident that they were anxious but yet committed to ensuring that they give their best performance. From the onset, we expected this competition to test our resolve with the pandemic, significantly impacting all parts of the world. There are many instances when we questioned whether this competition would need to take place due to unprecedented disruptions in travel, as well as lockdowns in various parts of the country, but also internationally. But here we are at the award ceremony of this fantastic event. We're about to recognize the winners of this amazing event, and this is something to celebrate. This competition brought together a truly diverse mix of us artists and jury from across the world. With little under 30 countries, as Professor Devrod had stated, represented by both candidates and jury, there was little doubt that this competition was going to be an international showcase of some of the best strings players the world has so far has offered or given the time. Unisa is proud to host this magnitude while affording all candidates the opportunity to share their cultures and musical abilities. In a country like South Africa that is rich in culture and diversity, we are indeed pleased to be able to expand these values by presenting artists from beyond our shores. I'm very pleased to learn that hosting the regional meeting of the World Federation of the International Competition was a resounding success. I've been briefed by the artistic director that our speakers and panelists presented some of the interesting, thought-provoking ideas on how we can foster an African music agenda in the world of music competitions, as I heard in the words of Professor Devrod himself, requested that we expand our horizons and ensure that we constantly engage in inventive approaches, and we are appreciative that this innovation will commence when we celebrate 150 years of our existence as the university. Program Director for this evening will formally thank everyone involved. However, I'd like to place on record my thanks to a few individuals who were instrumental in ensuring that this event happens. First and foremost, our organizing committee and all of the Unisa support staff who were involved in putting this event together. Our candidates, I must look at you because you really gave us your all and we appreciated it. Shakespeare would have been proud for, in his assertion around the role of music, not only for our hearts and heads, but for the beauty of meeting together from diverse environments is a testament born today or seen today. So thank you very much for your participation in this august event. The parents, host parents, jury, conductor, I was very proud. I wish I could learn how to do the conducting, and I'll come for lessons. The conductor, really you really did a great job that inspires all of us who were watching, but also going with the rhythm of your steering of this fantastic exposition. The orchestra, the rhythm section, your presence has ensured that this competition was a success and it lived up to the expectations. I'm thankful to the President, the Secretary General, and board members of the World Federation of International Music Competition for supporting our efforts to host a regional meeting of the World Federation of International Music Competitions. Unisa is honored to have hosted you. To our candidates and jury who will depart tomorrow, I trust that you have expanded your understanding of the histories and cultures, biodiversities, and music genres of South Africa. As much as we would like for you to have a rewarding musical experience, we trust that you had an equally rewarding social experience and you were able to forge new relationships with your host parents, but also the other competitors. To our South African candidates, I applaud you for making our nation proud by being a part of this competition. I sincerely hope that your experience with this competition will help you to grow and develop as musicians, competitors, and professionals. Finally, to everyone involved in making this competition a possibility, I offer my sincerest thanks. We could not have done it without you. And I would like to also really thank our president of the Music Foundation, President Thabo Mbeki, who has demonstrated his commitment to the success of this competition. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you so much, Prof. Lenkabula. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I would like to call upon Mr. Peter Paul Keinrath, who is the president of the World Federation of International Music Competitions, to address you.
His Excellency Dr. Thabo Mbeki, Chancellor of Unisa and former President of the Republic of South Africa, Professor Puleng Lenkabula, Principal and Vice Chancellor of Unisa, members of the Unisa Council and senior management, members of the Diplomatic Corps, dear guests. As the President of the World Federation of International Music Competition, I would like to express our extreme gratitude to Unisa for having organized this music competition. We all know about the actual difficult circumstances to hold an international event as yours. I can tell you that a lot of cultural organizations around the world didn't find the power and the determination needed for such an enterprise. You made it in the best possible way. It's so important to keep open the musical stages around the world and to promote young talents, because talents are a promise on the future and represents better than others the power of music as a universal language. But I would also like to thank Unisa and his brilliant cultural ambassador, I call him like this, Karendra Devrop, who some years ago initiated a very inspiring discussion inside our board and amongst the membership about the importance and the weight of jazz in the framework of international music competition. The fact that today jazz is a discipline and a genre written down in our own statutes is mostly an achievement by Karendra Devrop. And similar, an applause to Karendra Devrop. And similar to this, we had over the last 2 days the privilege to discuss with and analyze together with some of the most outstanding musicians of South Africa the topic of African music on global stages. We will certainly follow the next development related to this and are looking forward to the yesterday announced African music competition, in whatever format this will be held. Kindness, professionality, open-mindedness, and determination, these are your qualities. We need more of this in the international music life, and I cannot imagine a more inspiring member than the Unisa competition is to us. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kanrat. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for, which is the presentation of the prizes, will commence. I would like to start with the presentation of the special prizes, and I will call upon Dr. Mbeki and Prof. Lenkabula to present the prizes, and I'm sure all of our jury members would like to congratulate you as you make your way after collecting your prizes. The best performance of a Baroque work in the first round classical category, sponsored by the James Verwey Memorial Trust, goes to Brian Cheng. The best performance of a jazz ballad in the first round, sponsored by the Desmond Wilson Memorial Trust, goes to Mark Lewandowski. The best performance of a South African composition by either Alexander Johnston or Hendrik Hofmeyer in the classical category, sponsored by the James Verwey Memorial Trust, goes to Brian Cheng. Ladies and gentlemen, these prize winners are so quick to grab that envelope that they do not want to stay for a photograph. So I'm going to ask the prize winners to come back and at least take a photograph with the Chancellor and the Vice Chancellor. Okay, and now we continue. The best performance of a South African composition by Neil Gonsalves or Bokani Dyer in the jazz category, sponsored by the Desmond Wilson Memorial Trust, goes to Benjamin Jafter. In the second round of the competition, candidates had to perform a classical sonata, all classical candidates. The best performance of a classical sonata, sponsored by the Desmond Wilson Memorial Trust in the second round, is awarded to Jisoo Kim. the second round of the jazz category, candidates were required to perform a rhythm changes based composition. The best performance of a rhythm changes based composition in the second round, sponsored by the Desmond Wilson Memorial Trust, is awarded to Mark Lewandowski. Historically in our competition, we have always had a shadow jury. The purpose of the shadow jury is to encourage young musicians from around the country to shadow our professional jury with the intention of gaining experience and knowledge. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, this year we decided we could not have the shadow jury. But we do award the prize that would normally have been awarded by the shadow jury. The prize of the most promising semi-finalist who did not go through to the final round in the classical category is awarded to Luca Kutsia. The most promising semi-finalist who did not go through to the final round in the jazz category is awarded to Sylvain Jore. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the main prizes. Before presenting the main prizes, it is very important to note that the first, second, and third prizes are based on cumulative scores in all 4 rounds, and not just the final round. Jury are required to take into consideration the candidate's performance in all 4 rounds and base their decisions on a cumulative score. In the jazz category, the third prize winner, winning prize money of 100,000 Rand, is awarded to Benjamin Jafta from South Africa. The second prize winner of the jazz category, winning prize money of 140,000 Rand, Antonio Molina Moya. Ladies and gentlemen, our first prize winner for 2022 in the jazz category, winning prize money of 230,000 Rand from the United Kingdom, Mark Lewandowski. We move on to the classical category. The third prize winner, winning prize money of 100,000 Rand, Klara Saikolov. The second prize winner of the classical category, winning prize money of 140,000 Rand, from South Korea, Yongkwang Lee. The first prize winner of the classical category, from Canada, Brian Cheng. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I would like to ask our esteemed jury and the Chancellor and Vice-Chancellor to be seated. At this point, I would like to call upon His Excellency Dr. Thabo Mbeki, the President of the Unisa International Music Competition, to provide you with the congratulatory address. Dr. Mbeki.
Professor Karendra Devrop, our Artistic Director, Vice Chancellor Professor Puleng Lengabula, the esteemed members of the juries, and the distinguished competitors, the honored accompanies, members of the diplomatic corps, Peter Paul Kenrath and Mr. Florian Rim, and friends and ladies and gentlemen. For almost 2 weeks, those of us who could be present in this hall and the unknown numbers who watched and listened to the live-streamed performances have had the great privilege to be treated to a veritable feast of virtuoso musical renditions by our young but distinguished competitors. As I listened to the musicians in both the classical and jazz categories, it was indeed very sad to remember that this was a competition, and therefore that at the end, our esteemed jurors would have to announce whom they would have selected as the winners. I say this because it seemed to me, who certainly does not have the immense capacities which our eminent jurors dispose of, that all our competitors were winners. And I believe that in any case, the very fact that they, without exception, went through the demanding screening process and were selected to participate in this competition was and is in itself an important achievement and an attribute which all of us should acknowledge and celebrate. But nothing I've said subtracts from the fact that some of our competitors have been chosen as the deserved winners, and therefore that we close this competition this evening with the happy and joyful celebration of these winners. I say all of this recognizing the incontrovertible truths that at the heart of all forms of competition are a few basic elements that contribute to success, including but not limited to hard work, to preparation, consistency in what you do, and most important, belief that you can succeed and that your skills will enable you to achieve success. It has been argued that the only thing separating those that win from those that do not win at the Olympic Games is a strong mindset. Musicians, of course, are not athletes, and the performing arts being a unique set of challenges not common to other forms of competition. The humanist and emotional nature of music brings into play an added dimension into the competition equation, as well as unknown variables. Did we admire all candidates at this competition for having navigated those unknown variables and having delivered such amazing performances? And I can only guess or imagine the myriads of emotions that you have experienced over the past 2 weeks. And to all the candidates, congratulations on getting invited to participate in this competition and for successfully having completed your participation. I have little doubt that your musical maturity and performance abilities have been significantly enhanced by virtue of having participated in the competition. At the end of the day, we grow and develop when competing with others. And to the winners, congratulations on your well-earned success. You have entered the prestigious list of Unisa competition laureates who are recognized internationally. Your success will mark a milestone in your professional resume as having competed in and won one of the most stringent competitions in the world. As president of the Unisa International Music Competitions and chancellor of this university, I applaud you for your fine achievement. Indeed, our university, as Vice Chancellor I said, is proud to assist in launching your professional careers, and we sincerely hope that your success tonight will pave the way for additional successes and a long and distinguished career in music. And we look forward to watching your careers as they unfold. And here I include all of the candidates. And to all these, speaking also on behalf of the organizing committee, I thank you for your participation in the competition. You have ensured that it lives up to our expectations, and indeed we're grateful that you chose to travel to South Africa, given the current global 19 pandemic. Now, sincere thanks also go to our esteemed jurors who have carried out their challenging task with great distinction. Indeed, we could never have had a better qualified team of adjudicators. We also salute the eminent accompanists whose presence and participation in the performances added immense value to the competition itself. Of course, that also goes to the Johannesburg Philharmonic, I nearly said Philharmonic Orchestra. I'd also like to thank the President and Secretary General of the World Federation of International Music Competitions Mr. Peter Paul Kainrath and Mr. Florian Ream, and all of the speakers and panelists of the regional meeting of the World Federation of International Music Competitions for assisting in putting together the regional conference we have just concluded. We sincerely appreciate your efforts to assist us in trying to find a voice, our voice, as a future host of the African music competitions here at Unisa that Peter Paul Mendes just mentioned, as well as Professor Dev Rob. My sincerest thanks goes to everybody who was involved in making this competition a success, including the people that the Vice Chancellor mentioned. I'm aware that this edition was a mammoth challenge, given the current conditions globally. Your hard work and determination have ensured that we once again delivered a world-class competition that all of us are proud of. Again, many thanks to everybody, and bon voyage as all of us travel to our various destinations. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you, Dr. Mbeki. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard them play. I'm sure you want to hear them speak. Mark Lewandowski, Brian Cheng, please address the audience.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say firstly, it's a great honor to have placed in this competition. I'm so proud that the beautiful improvised art form that we call jazz is now featured on an international stage for a competition as such. South Africa has been a place I've always wanted to come. I've always heard from my friends that it's full of wonderful, creative, diverse, culturally mixed, and very, very, very proud people. I found this competition here at Unisa to have all those same qualities. It's been a true honor to compete. I want to say congratulations to my fellow finalists. I love you guys. I look forward to sharing one of South Africa's premium cold alcoholic beverages with you soon. I've heard some wonderful music here. It's been a wonderful experience. In fact, it's the first competition I've ever taken part in, and I'm kind of getting a bit older now, so it'll probably be my last, but I could tick something off the bucket list. I'm thrilled to be able to share music with everyone. I also want to especially thank Jack and Yannick, who have been really graciously hosting me. Can I have a round of applause for these people, please? They've shown me a lot of love, a lot of kindness. They've taken me around. We've had a very good time. One of the other best things that's come out of this is I've probably had more sleep than I've had in about 10 years. I've been going to bed at about 10 p.m., waking up at 7 a.m., so that's another achievement I'm going to tick off the list. Just to finish, I want to congratulate Brian as well and thank him for a wonderful performance. I was sat up there enjoying it so much, and when I had the butterflies in my heart, your beautiful cello playing of my favorite concerto really soothed me down. So thank you, everyone.
I'm going to keep this very short because I heard there's a fantastic reception, which I would very much like to enjoy as soon as possible. I'm just going to go off with a list of thanks, first of all, to my wonderful host mother, Annalise, who, as Mark mentioned, all the host parents have been working so hard in driving us back and forth to all the rehearsals and everything. Despite their busy schedule. So thank you, Annalise, for the warm welcome, and especially all the wonderful new friends I've made in South Africa who've just welcomed me with open arms. And are you already making me want to come back to this beautiful country. So thank you very much. And I would also like to recognize the pianists who played during the competition, especially my own pianist, Sylvie Cheng. Pianists are often not given enough credit for all the work that they do. It's pretty much their equal part in this competition. So also wonderful thanks to the pianists. And of course, congratulations to my fellow candidates, including those who are not on the stage, but also gave their hearts and played wonderfully throughout the competition. So thank you so much, and I hope to share music with you all again very soon in this beautiful country.
Thank you so much, Mark and Brian. Ladies and gentlemen, the most important thing that any program director or any person who manages an event such as this can do is to thank those people that made it happen. As we know, no single person can make an event of this magnitude happen. So I take this very seriously and ask for your indulgence as I thank the people who made this event happen. Dr. Thabo Mbeki, Chancellor and President of the Unisa International Music Competitions, has been an ardent supporter of ours for many years. We are sincerely grateful to you, Dr. Mbeki, for your support, for lending us your presence, for always being at our events. Thank you. Prof. Puleng Lenkabula, our Principal and Vice Chancellor, is an ardent supporter of the arts. We see it day in and day out in her support for the work that we do within the Directorate Music and the Unisa Music Foundation. My sincerest thanks to you, Prof. Lenkabula. We report directly to the Registrar, Prof. Stuart Motata. I approach Prof. Motata usually when there's a crisis, and without fail, he drops everything and he supports us. So to Prof. Motata, sincerest thanks to you. To our jury members who I named earlier, sincerest thanks for an outstanding job. I truly appreciate your professionalism and the manner in which you conducted yourself throughout this competition. Thank you. To our composers, Neil Gonsalves, Bokani Daya, Hendrik Hofmeyer, Alexander Johnson, my sincerest thanks to you for investing your time in composing the works that were required for these candidates. No doubt your works truly tested them. We had the best accompanists in the country, and I'm sincerely grateful to them because I know how much of hours they spent preparing the work and working with our candidates. To Elna van der Merwe, Jose Diaz, Megan Jeffrey Prince, Roland Moses, Neil Gonsalves, Ntando Trapo, Blake Hellaby, my sincerest thanks for all the work that you've done. Our rhythm section did a flawless job under extremely difficult circumstances, very little rehearsal time. My sincerest thanks to Kevin Gibson, Melvin Peters, and Mark Doobie. We had a fabulous orchestra. The Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra had just 1 or 2 days when they were given the concertos, literally a day to pull scores to prepare the music. To the Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra, under the direction of Maestro Marius Smolich, my sincerest thanks to you. My sincerest thanks to Bongani Tembe for always supporting our winners, for supporting our initiatives at Unisa whenever an orchestra is required. We had an incredible team from Unisa's multimedia, led by Ms. Kanyisile Twabu, and her team, Edwin Nkosi, Veli Sibui, Hannes Small, Roland Moses, Roland Morris, Lefuno Mesusumeli, Matthew Zimchali, Shuema Champion, Samu Subia, and Laura Schultz, who retired 1 or 2 months ago, but did a significant amount of work in the last 6 months. Ella Filioun continuously makes us look good with her graphic design. To Ella, my sincerest thanks for all the last minute things that we sent to you. Hermina Nell, Nomsa and Leila, Nancy Ann Anderson from Institutional Advancements and their support teams, my sincerest thanks to you. You always come through for us. It was said earlier, our host parents did an outstanding job. But ladies and gentlemen, we've had host parents with us for over 30 years. That's the level of dedication and support that host parents lend to our candidates. I was doubtful that our host parents will accept candidates this year given the circumstances worldwide. Nevertheless, they opened their homes to our candidates, they made them feel at home, and all of our candidates are safe up until their departure. My sincerest thanks to the host parents. World Federation of International Music Competitions, Peter Paul Keinrath, Florian Rim, Rob Hilberink, Sarah Betrisi, and Jin Yong Kim. My sincerest thanks to you. I know it was a difficult decision. It was always on a knife edge whether this was going to happen, and you could make yourself available. Sincerest thanks to you, not just for the last few days, but for continuously supporting Unisa and our efforts that we try to make happen here on the southernmost tip of the continent. Our invited panelists who were part of our regional meeting, Nina Schumann, Samson Diamond, Conroy Cupido, Megan Jeffrey Prince, my sincerest thanks to you for making yourself available and for your contributions. Estates does an incredible job. Corne Jacobs, Titus Maluleka are on call 24/7, especially when there's a crisis. So to Corne and his team, my sincerest thanks to all of you. Vainant Duplessis did all of the proofreading for our program. Sincerest thanks, Vainant. Letitia Orlandi has been a part of the competitions for many years. This year she took on an additional role with our regional meeting. My sincerest thanks to Letitia. The Unisa Big Band performed at the opening ceremony. Sincerest thanks to all of you. Salome Skitter is on the organizing committee's team from Finance Department, continuously guiding us, lending us our support. Salome, sincerest thanks, because when we need purchase orders and we need suppliers paid, you always come through to us. My sincerest thanks to you. To the team at Mnet, Janine Opperman and her colleagues, my thanks to you once again for your sponsorship, for broadcasting the competition, which will take place in a few months. Francois Nolte and the team at Green Planet, my sincerest thanks to all of you. Sambro Foundation has been a partner of ours for many years. To James French, Henriette Chon and Nasima Youssef, my thanks to you for assisting us with the commissions. We have an incredible team of people who worked with us as student or assistant helpers. Willie, Nolo, Charles, Rose, and Heinrich. These individuals barely got any sleep in the last 2 weeks, continuously running from one end of this hall to the other end of the province. I cannot thank you enough for all the work that you've done. Yefet Demanik is my first call technician because he's the consummate professional. He runs everything flawlessly for us, no matter how small or how big. To Yefet and Jan and the team, sincerest thanks to all of you. We had a wonderful screening panel: Mark Doobie, Voma Levin, Sean Johannes, Farida Bakarova, Samson Diamond, and Anne-Marie van der Westhuizen. My thanks to you. Our piano technician, who came on board about a year ago, is doing an incredible job. He is now full-time at Unisa, working in the Music Foundation. To Tsepiso Ledwaba, thank you for your help and your support throughout this competition. Our travel partner, Tour West, my sincerest thanks to Tumi Shang and entire team. Our host hotel, Capital Menlyn Main, sincerest thanks for accommodating all of our requests. And to all of our sponsors, especially SA Tourism, who sponsored the entire regional conference, my sincerest thanks to you. Ladies and gentlemen, many people have complimented me on the competition being managed and being managed well. I'd like to say that the compliments are directed to the wrong person. It should be directed to Khomotso Boshilo, Prince Ramala, Linda Patrick, Tsepiso Ledwaba, and Philly Moionye. The team from the Music Foundation have worked tirelessly for the past year and a half, starting with our national competition, working up to the international competition. When you're sending SMSs and WhatsApp messages at 1:10 in the morning, you know that your team is standing 100% behind you. They've worked tirelessly, physically, mentally, emotionally, under tremendous pressure. I'm so proud of this team that I wish I could do more than just say thank you. I will show my appreciation throughout this week and throughout the year for everything you've done. For everyone that was involved in this competition, my sincerest thanks to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings to a close the vote of thanks. But before we close, many years ago on this day, a young boy was born. He went on to become an amazing guitarist, known around the world. More importantly, he ended up becoming an incredible human being, someone that I got to know 2 weeks ago. Today, David Gilmour is celebrating his birthday. It's only appropriate that we give him a South African send-off by singing happy birthday to David Gilmour. Please rise, David. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear David. Happy birthday to you. Thanks so much, David, for sharing your birthday with us. We truly appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings to a close the official ceremony for this evening. At this point, I would like to ask the jury to remain on stage and the winners for photographs. So the rest of you may depart, but at this point, just the jury and the winners. Thank you.